everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Amy. Today I will be sharing with you how I got into the University of Michigan, as well as revealing my admissions file to you guys. Quick rundown of the format of this video. I'm going to start off with my personal background and my high school background, then going into my stats, extracurriculars, essays, and then my admissions file and what I saw in my admissions file. Take everything I say with a grain of salt because there's not one singular path into getting into college. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so for my personal background and high school background, I was born and raised in Houston, Texas, and then I moved to Michigan right before my junior year of high school. And so I spent 2 years in public school in Houston and 2 years in public school in Michigan. Both of those public schools were nothing special. They were pretty average, ordinary public schools. The public school I went to in Houston had about 3,000 students, and then the public school I went to in Michigan had about 1,500. I am also Korean American, and I have a sister who is 2 years older. So moving on to stats and academics. So I scored a 1470 on my SAT. My sub scores were 710 in reading and writing and 760 in math. Honestly, that's like not that good, but I would say it's like somewhere a little bit above the average student at Michigan. My unweighted GPA was a 3.93 and my weighted GPA was a 4.28. So I took 10 APs. I will be listing them right here. Yeah, but I took 10 APs. I got mostly 4s and 5s, and I only submitted 4s and 5s. My high school did not rank, so nothing was submitted for that. Moving on to extracurriculars, my schedule was absolutely loaded, so this section will be a little bit long. But first things first, I played basketball all 4 years of high school, and then I did track for 1 year, my senior year of high school, just like for fun. The next activity that I did was the summer program called St. Albans School of Public Service. This is originally an in-person program, but a few weeks before the program, I think they sent out an email and they were like, "We're so sorry, but COVID has like taken over our area, so we're gonna like cancel in person, but we're gonna move everything to Zoom." So for 4 weeks, 8 hours a day, I would be on the Zoom call, like doing this program. But I learned a lot. It was really interesting. They brought in Fiona Hill, Pete Buttigieg. Like, I got to speak to these really cool people, like ask questions, mock trial, we did debate, we read a lot of articles, and did a lot of discussion. That was really interesting and fun, and I liked it a lot. I think that like increased my interest in politics, despite me not doing that anymore. I also worked as a board director for the Grand Traverse Community Foundation, which basically we just reviewed grant applications. We would go over all these applications and decide like which companies deserve the money or not. And that was a really cool experience because I don't think a lot of high schoolers do stuff like that. So yeah, I really enjoyed that actually. It was a really fun experience, even though most of those people that I worked with were like older people in their 50s and 60s. It was pretty, like I learned a lot. Okay, so for my next extracurricular activity, I did an architecture internship at a architecture and interior design firm. Your girl has been through a lot of different career phase interests, and architecture was one of them. What I basically did there was I would help set up client meetings. So before clients came, say they were like remodeling their kitchen, I would get all these different kitchen tiles and patterns from the basement and then bring them upstairs to the client meeting room, and I would set it all up, and then I would like take note of like the different patterns and stuff they liked and then put it in the system. There were some like bugs and tech issues with the architecture software sometimes, and so I would call the companies and fix stuff. Okay, so when I worked at Great Wolf Lodge, I added this in my Common App. Honestly, it was not anything special. I literally flipped patties. I put up pretzels in ovens. I worked as a cashier. Like, it was nothing special at all. But yeah, it was a basic job. Got paid minimum wage. Yeah. The next extracurricular activity that I did was Key Club. My sophomore year of high school, I founded my high school's Key Club because I noticed there was like a lack of opportunity for students to get involved in the community. It was really hard like building that club from scratch, from getting it sponsored to raising enough money to be able to do certain events. But that basically just consisted of a lot of different volunteer activities, like volunteering for marathons, hosting a bunch of food drives, writing cards, to veterans and to teachers. It was a pretty wholesome club. Even though it was a lot of work, I think it was worth it, and it still exists today. And then also when I moved to Michigan, I joined the Key Club that already existed at that high school, and I became vice president by my senior year. My next extracurricular, I was an ESL speaking tutor for this program called Engine. So basically 1 hour a week, I would host a speaking session with a Ukrainian student, and we would just talk in English. That was pretty fun. It was pretty chill, and I continued doing that up until the first semester of college, and we still keep in touch, which I think is pretty cool. The next activity I did was NHS. So I did that for 2 years. I was NHS secretary. Again, it was just like basic volunteer activity planning, helping plan the school's homecoming or like winter ball, stuff like that. Okay, for my essays, I'm not gonna read them because it's cringe and it's pretty personal, but I will summarize them for you. Now on to my admissions file. To get access to your admissions file, you do need to request a special appointment. They only allow pencil and paper. I have my notes here of what I saw in my admissions file. When your admissions officers are reviewing your application, they're basically rating you in a bunch of different categories and then leaving some comments. You basically need to score well in all of these categories, and I'm gonna explain to you all the different categories that they rank you in and what I got. So your overall rating is on a scale of 1 to 10. My overall rating was a 2. Next, here are the subcategory ratings.
It's below average, average, good, excellent, and outstanding.
These were the final comments, and I wrote all of this word for word. The student is truly one
The student is truly one of the top applicants from this high school. They moved to Michigan before their junior year and have in total taken 20 core, 1 honor, and 10 out of 21 APs, 8 coming at the current high school. They have outstanding involvement and interest in U of M. Overall, an outstanding applicant from this high school.
My second evaluator also gave me an overall rating of 2. The second evaluator got my SAT score wrong, so I got a 1470, but this reviewer wrote down I got a 1420. Not sure how that happened, but it doesn't really matter, I guess, because it all ended up fine. But this second evaluator said
10 AP classes, rigorous curriculum with almost all A's, so overall an outstanding student academically and strong leadership in basketball and community service work, along with clear U of M interest, also support rating, overall an outstanding candidate.
Okay, well that's it, I think. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe down below.